Hello everybody. How is everybody doing today? Nice to see you all here. Glad to see you here. Oh man, it has been a while since I've been on. I was on vacation and had a nice little vacation and I missed you guys. So if you haven't been to a thumbnail live stream before, here's how it goes. Basically, you use the form that's in the description and you submit your information, and then I pick a random number through this nifty little tool that Dan created. I'll show you right here. It's this right here. And then I'll get a random number and hopefully you get picked. And if you do, then I take a look at the thumbnail that you sent, the video link, and I kind of break it down. I talk about what I would do, and sometimes I'll bring up Photoshop and I'll kind of do a little mock-up. And that's not like a software tutorial or anything. You can do whatever I do in Canva, Photopea, Affinity, yeah, even on your phone with all this AI craziness. So yeah, when I bring that up, it's just to show an example. It's not to say, hey, use Photoshop, or here's how you do that. So, right, I think we're just gonna get right into it. Yeah, let's roll into it. And there's some news that we need to cover, which is pretty exciting. But we'll get into that here shortly. I went ahead and picked a few thumbnails to start out with, just to get rolling. I don't have someone with me, so I will have some music really, filling in that dead space. And if it's too loud or too quiet, let me know. Just let me know in the chat. All right. So we've got Bean Traveling. That is this channel name, and Seaside Disappointment or Hidden Gem is the title here. I'll show it like this. No, that's not what I want. So yeah, down here, Seaside Disappointment or Hidden Gem. And what I like about this is he didn't answer the question right away. He just kind of, brought up some curiosity. Like, is it a disappointment or is it Hidden Gem? And he did the same thing in the thumbnail. Is it UK's worst seaside? I really like that, and I think that was really well done. You really knew not to answer the question right away. Like give somebody a reason to click. So yeah, I like that. What I would do differently, I think that everything that you have on the thumbnail really, it pops well. Maybe I would make you a little bit bigger, just to kind of show that, a human, something to connect to. I noticed that this is a much different picture than the one behind you. Honestly, I like it. I think that you went really well with the text, and I think it pops. I mean, if you zoom way out, you can still easily see what's going on there. I think my only complaint is that you're just very dark compared to your surroundings, and if you made yourself pop a little more, I think it might perform a little better. Okay, yeah, so not much to change there. Let's see what else I picked here. I picked a Friday Night at Freddy's one. Or Friday night, Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, so this is Conquering the Night, completing Night 4 in FNAF 1 through 3 VR. Alright, so everything pops. You have all the elements, and I'm pretty sure that this bear here is a fairly famous character. Recognizable, at least, and that's a good start. I think what I would do, and I make this suggestion to a lot of gaming channels, is if you have something to show, like something amazing or something crazy that happened in your video, which could be the reason why somebody would click. What do you have different to offer? You might want to feature that in the thumbnail. Like if something hilarious or scary or epic happened, you know, that's always something cool to put in the thumbnail. But I know that when you search for Five Nights at... I almost said Friday again. When you search for Five Nights at Freddy's, a lot of thumbnails are pretty similar to this, and this might be one of those cases. Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's try this. This might be that case where you kind of do what works. And, I mean, you don't have to, but it's a good start. It's a good starting point where it's like, okay, what I see right here is brighter colors, for one. This one I really like. And it's super bright. It's like really cinematic, and I think that gets attention. So maybe you might want to start with a brighter, more saturated character. That could work. It doesn't quite look like they did what I said, any of them, like featuring the crazy part of your game or the crazy part of your video. It looks like it's more character centric. So I think you went the right direction on that. Yeah, it looks like even if these are character-centric, they're really making their colors pop. And yours is just a bit dark. So yeah, that might be something to focus on. As far as the text and everything, you've got a logo in there, which is okay. The help wanted, that really pops out for people searching for that specific game, I think it is. The Five Nights at Freddy's help wanted. So yeah, just brighten the character, maybe add a little background. I think you're onto something though. Okay, so those were the two that I picked right away, just to kind of get us started. Dan has an awesome tool here to get a random number, so we'll just hit 52. Somebody, yeah, I always say Friday Night at Freddy's too. Yeah, it's difficult. I think it's because that, was it Katy Perry song? Last Friday night. Yeah, it's always stuck in my head. Yeah, Dan hates the claw. So he made a better tool, a more efficient tool, faster. Okay, so the last number was 52, simply made by hand. Let's check this one out. Okay. Oh yeah, I also picked another one, I think, up here. Yeah, I did. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. So, all right. Simply made by hand. A crocheter's worst nightmare. And I would say that... Alright, so you've got a little bit of like a shadow here, but it's not a shadow, it's also white. It's just a lighter white, and it doesn't help make it pop by any means. Let's see what I can do here to kind of show you what I mean. So if you know what, I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to like select all that, but yeah, let me just say what I would do. Okay, so I would take the text and I would make that little shadow that you got going on behind it black. If you're dead set on having that text there, a crocheter's worst nightmare is it's really intriguing because it evokes fear. Like, oh, yeah, that is my worst nightmare. I want to know. I want to avoid that happening to me. I want to crochet better, you know? And so I think that your word choice is really good. You just might want to consider the shadow behind it if that's what you're doing to be darker. But the background picture itself, I didn't quite get it at first because I guess I'm not so used to seeing the crocheting hands. I understand it now, but I didn't get it in the first 2 seconds when I saw it, and that's kind of something that you want to focus on. If people, okay, so people are going to see your thumbnail first before they ever read your title, and you have the word crocheter in there, but I don't know if crocheter is the best way to go about it. But if you showed the hands clearly, say on the right side, and you had a crocheter's worst nightmare over here on the left, I think that would help a little bit more, because you have something visually recognizable, and then you have some text that it's like, oh, you know, it has my attention. And by the way, your package with this text in your thumbnail and the title, something all crocheters need to know. I think that is an awesome package. I just think you want to nail it visually with showing the activity. I wonder, now this is something we always encourage, is to check out other videos like the last one. There's a lot of... Yeah, see, this is like super clear, right? And it's 38 million views. How to crochet for beginners. I don't know why they repeated the title in the thumbnail, but it was also 9 years ago, so the rules were completely different. But yeah, the point still stands. It's pretty clear. It's recognizable. You know, I crochet, I see crochet, I click crochet. All right. All right. I picked this one before. Who will survive? Terror at Oakheart. First time playing. Okay, is this Terror at Oakheart? Is this their logo, like the game logo, or is this a font choice? Does anybody know? Hey, sorry, I have that that comment still up there. Okay. All right, so I'll quickly Google that then. Terror at Oakheart. Terror at Oakheart. I'm just curious if that's a font choice of yours. No, it's the logo, as you can see. So in this case, because I'm not so up to speed on this game specifically, I want to check out your channel too. But let's just do what we do, just to see what's working for other peeps. All right. So it looks like a very, very similar thumbnail. Wow, they're all like this. Interesting. Normally, this is one of those things where I'm like, how can I stand out from the rest by still taking the best elements from their ideas? Man, this one's a tough one, because they're all kind of doing what you're doing. Okay. Well, it's a little tough. If that's the case, like I've said before, you know, showing something interesting that happens in the game. Like this guy right here, the really interesting thing that pops out is his face, and that's something that you don't see in any other of these. So if you're comfortable doing that, then that's one way to go. The other way to go is really just nailing the curiosity in your title, because it seems like everybody's kind of doing this. If you could maybe separate your character out from the background and really put a harsh shadow, or make a scary guy pop off or something like that, you just got to give them a reason to want to watch yours more than anybody else's. It's something to really consider. Yeah, that one's really tough, because you did what they did. I just wanted to see what your most popular video was to see. Death is eternal. Okay, you got 2 characters, and wow, your font is solid. Okay, so you are in your videos, it looks like. So yeah, honestly, you're not losing anything if you try to put yourself in there with a reaction. So I would try that and see how it works, because it seems like you already did what everybody else did. And yeah, if you want to change the results, maybe try that. Yeah, that was an interesting case. All right. 140. Lucky number 140. UnquietGaming. Let's check it out. Is that music too loud, or is it too soft? Is it okay? I can hear it fine. I'm jamming, so. All right. 210 Chaos Ruins. D2R. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I didn't see it. Okay, that's a problem. Okay, I love Diablo 2, by the way. It is the nostalgic childhood game for me. Yeah, sorry, I'm turning it down. Okay. So, I love it, but here... Okay, so there's a bit of a mix-up here because you're trying to show your text. 210 chaos runs. Okay, that's a lot of chaos. Okay. You have the Diablo 2 logo in here, right? But I didn't see it. It's really buried in the back, and it's messing the scene up. You know, you're wanting to show what's going on. Okay, here's what I would think. If I saw the scene, the gameplay of it, I'm like, oh man, I remember that game, and I'd want to click it. But with everything else in front of it, it's like, you know, what are you trying to show? It seems like you're trying to show 3 different things here. Especially with the rune, maybe you blocked that out on purpose, but it is very hard to tell because it's just, you know, it's chaotic, for lack of a better word, on a chaos run. So I would maybe take out some elements here. Let's see what your title is. Getting Lucky in Chaos Sanctuary. All right. You know, I'm curious here, just to. I just want to see what. Okay, we've got a focus on Diablo, mostly character, 1,000 Chaos Sanctuary runs. Yeah, I see this one. That's exactly what I was talking about, where you see the scene itself, and it was 100 times multiplier or outlier score for them. That's great. Yeah, because as soon as I see that, I think, wow, like it's just the memories, you know, I want to click it. But yeah, when things get complicated and they start adding in elements, they don't do as well. So yeah, I would try to simplify that. I would focus more on the scene at hand, and if you do add text or the logo, I would make it smaller in a corner. Just try not to cover it up. And I would also maybe go less on the glow and more of like a black outline. Yeah, and maybe white text or red or something like that. This is a very weird contrast, the green and peach, I guess. I'm not quite sure. I'm terrible at colors, but yeah. So yeah, that's what I would do. Best of luck on that one. I love Diablo 2. Have I told you guys that I love Diablo 2? I really miss playing that game. All right, 162. Let's roll. SirNatty. Oh, this is sweet. I love the vibe. Oh, I think that's like a sun lamp. I got one of those in the back somewhere, but you chose blue, which is really, really cool. Sorry, that is not the point of this live stream. All right, I want to see what else you got first. Gaming, and then a setup. Okay, so man, I think. Okay, a couple things. First, I really like it, but it takes a closer look to really see the definition of what's going on in it, because it looks like a very cyberpunk scene, which is what I thought it was at first. It's really tough to make out the detail, and if you could sharpen that up just a little bit, that might help. The text in the front is very cool and it pops. I might. You know what? I don't really have much to say about the text. I think it works. The only thing is, with its glow and so much glow going on, it's like, it blurs it a little bit down here. I mean, you can see it sort of like when you back up, it's just kind of this blur. But it's pretty defined. If you had an option to back it up a little more, to give a little more context in the room of, I think it's called Battle Stations, I think is on Reddit. Some of those pictures are awesome. And if you could kind of frame it in the way that Battle Stations on Reddit does, then I really think it would work. So I just think it's a perspective thing, but I really think you got the vibe. I mean, that's really cool. If you're offering any information, like something that people can learn, maybe focus on that for your packaging. Yeah. Yeah, offer some value, because if people don't know you well enough, they might not be interested in your setup specifically. So that's an angle, but yeah, check out Battle Stations on Reddit. It is awesome. Get some great ideas from that area. 262. All right. Man, I really don't want to mispronounce this, but I'll try it. Thuong's Farming Life. Sorry, I tried. I'm just so bad at that. Thuong, I think, is... That's how I read it, anyway. So... This... Okay, it's cool. It looks like... It looks like she's really tiny, sitting by a giant plate of food, and I think it's because of... Here, let's look at the thumbnail, sorry. Because of this green, and she's holding green, it looks like she's a part of it somehow. I really love the color. I think that the food, if it was more defined that it's not a part of the scene that she's in, I think that might help a little bit. The strange cake I made from charcoal is both... Okay, so the charcoal, like I made a cake from charcoal that, if you could focus on that detail specifically, I think that would make this blow up, because it's like, what? Charcoal? This doesn't quite look like... It doesn't focus on charcoal very much, and I think that's a really interesting angle. Strange cake I made from charcoal is both delicious and sweet in the old kitchen. That's a lot to say in a title. I know we're just doing thumbnails, but if you want to simplify it, I would go for the charcoal and really focus on just redoing the thumbnail. Is this you in the picture? Because it's totally fine to be in it too. Yeah, it's definitely you. You know, I don't know if the charcoal looks like the charcoal that I'm thinking of. But when I think of charcoal, like, I think it's Kingsford, and they're like these little charcoal briquettes. One sec. Briquette, yeah. Yeah, so when I think charcoal, I think of this right here. And if I saw something like that combined with cake, even like a little stupid math equation like this plus flour equals cake, you know, something like that, I would click it for sure. Because I've never heard of making cake from charcoal. I think that's interesting. Okay. Let's move on. Yeah, just try to reframe that packaging. Stashed training. Okay, we just got a channel link, but that's okay. We'll take a look. We'll take a look anyway. Oh, okay, sweet. Dude, you know your brand. This is cool. Oh man, like a mustache, like consistent theme, and it's about fire training. This is solid. Okay, let's use the vidIQ outlier tool just to see which ones really pop here. 53 times, so that does 53 times more. Electric car explosions worldwide. So is this... Okay, so that's a compilation, of course. That's solid. This, man, I don't know why. Your thumbnails are awesome. I don't know what to say. Like, I love when you focus on an item specifically like that and you make it interesting. The bus. I like when you put yourself in a situation. Like, it's really solid, man. I'm trying to think of a tip I would give you, but I can't. This is great. Ooh. A drill battery? Okay, I'll watch that later. I got nothing for you. I'm sorry, you're awesome. Just keep doing what you're doing. 139. TizzaWizza. I thought I hit enter, and I didn't. Ooh. 2 years. Okay, so seeing this immediately before I even saw the title, I'm not sure what the 2 years means unless it's 2 years old. But this could be I played for 2 years, or I didn't play for, or Sonic is, I don't know. So if you want to kind of add some clarity on that in your thumbnail, it might help immediately. Okay, so 2-year anniversary celebration. I'm assuming it's the 2-year anniversary of it being created. That is, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Okay, so if you want to clear that up just a little bit, you can. But if something cool happened in this game, like I give this a lot, if something cool happened in this game that would make people more interested in yours more than anybody else's, that could be a focus. You could include the 2-year anniversary, but if the video isn't quite only about that, then maybe there's a different angle. I do want to check this out here and see what we got. Okay. What your favorite skin says about you. Okay, there's tutorials. Oh, wow. There is a lot going on here. Okay, this is a really weird niche. Like, I don't know. It's sort of hard to dissect. Yeah, a lot of it is just game informing, which is what you were going for. I think just making it a little more clear on what you're trying to get across immediately. If it's a 2-year anniversary, maybe include that if that's the most important thing to you. As far as the thumbnail itself, I don't know. I think that maybe you could make the background pop. I think maybe you could center Sonic in the middle. Maybe you don't have to include the title. This 1000 XP, I don't know if that should be a focus or if that's important. If it is, it shouldn't be in the bottom right corner, because that's where all of the that's where the little number is, and it'll cover it up. Sorry, I didn't explain that very well. I'll show you what I mean. A lot of you already know this, but just in case. There it is. Yeah. So depending on what you're looking at, that number covers it up. It used to be more like, I thought it used to be like a little white box that covered the whole corner, and maybe it is on your phone, but just something to consider if you're trying to show something important in that little area. The box would be like covering right over it. So yeah, I think that's all I got. Just a little bit there. Hopefully that helps you. All right, let's move on to number 34. Xplore Norway. Let's do it. Wow, that's a beautiful start. All right, take a look at this. Safe hike to, I'm not, Kvalvika in Ryten, Lofoten. Okay. Okay, so you say the same thing in the title and the thumbnail, which might not add anything to it. If there's something super interesting or super beautiful, you might want that to be the feature. And this could be that. What you're showing right now, it could be that. You've got one half. No, you know, I would probably just show a scene. Let's take a look at Norway, touring Norway or something like that. I don't. Touring way. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. It's just one beautiful scene and then some text over it, or they have a flag, which I know that's what you went for. If you want it to be specific to locations, you could do just this word here in the center. And I really like how they're here. Let's take a look at this one, because this is a great example. Give me a sec. Okay. So I really like how their text has a little bit of a shadow. Not so much that it becomes a part of it, but it just really makes that white pop out. Another one I just saw, it's going to be subtle, but it works. Sorry, I keep kicking my camera. Yeah, so you can see it's very, very subtle. Maybe you can see it. Super duper subtle, but it really makes that white pop, and it gives this like elegant feel. You don't have to like pick a font like that to make it feel elegant, but you can make it feel cinematic, I guess is more what I'm thinking. It's just beautiful to me. So if you had the K word, what was it? Kvalvika? But right there, and then your scenery behind it. That would be cool. And then maybe under it, like this one right here, it could be and write-in. You know, you could just feature it right there. You could also do like a half and half, where there's Kvalvika and write-in on the other half. So yeah, just that's what I would do. When I see your footage, I'm like, yeah, that's where you want to go. And people, they see something beautiful, they want to click it. Oh, there's right there. There's a good half and half idea. Yeah. So yes. All right, moving on. 227. Kval means whale in... Oh, I lost it. Oh, there it is. Kval means whale in Ninorks. Good to know. Good to know. All right. Mayuuuc. Let's check your stuff out. There. AI versus artist. Okay, that's pretty solid, and also I love the drawing. Like, you clearly made that, which is very cool. The text, I mean, really, you know, I hate to talk about color, because when you talk to an artist, they are specific. I know how that is. I feel the same way. And when I see this, I'm like, in a thumbnail case, if you really just saturated it up, it could work. Like, let me just crudely do this real quick. If you really just busted up the saturation, it really could pop just a little bit more on YouTube. That's the goal of thumbnails, and I hate to even adjust your art. But the one thing that I noticed is that you want text to be very specific and pop. So if nothing else, you could just make the yellow pop more. And sorry, I didn't mean to make his beard. Didn't mean to make his beard. There. So yeah, you could just you could bump up the yellow just a little bit. Just something to consider. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I really don't want you to have to adjust anything. Artists are being accused of using AI. Okay, so if that's the title, then I thought it was a challenge. That's the vibe I got from AI versus artist. But artists are being accused of using AI. Okay, I get it. It works fine. I mean, if there's anything to consider, it might be just redoing your title. But yeah, that's really all I have to offer, especially when you have something so unique. You know, that's very, very cool. I love it. All right, let's move on. 200. 200, y'all. All right, Leonardo Gonzalez photo. That is the channel. Okay, Cabo Pulmo underwater. My story's in the aquarium of the world. That is sick. I love that. Okay, so all right, I think as far as the text goes, it looks very stretched out instead of like condensed, which is a very specific font. Well, it's not a font, it's just a style of font. This is clearly not condensed. This looks more stretched out, and you can tell because the bottom of the L is it's longer than the thickness of this. So it's, yeah, you can tell it's pulled up, and that just doesn't quite look as great as, let me just toss you a font here real quick. Hello, Leonardo. Leonardo? Okay. So when you want to do a condensed, let's go find one real quick. I know that I use a lot of Babas Noi. That's one way you could go. That's not technically condensed, but it's higher. Impact is another one if you really want that. I just wanted to show you that there are better options than just like stretching your font out. But if you click on one, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find. Yeah, this should be one. Futura condensed. Okay, so it's made to be tall instead of you dragging it out. That's just how it looks. But I wouldn't do that personally. I would like the last thumbnail we just did. Something more simple could work. The black box, not the text overshooting the black box, it's experimental and that's cool, but it just doesn't feel right. You could do black text up top, then white text with the box on bottom, or you could just keep it pretty simple and put the black box up top instead and just cut out any other text. It's something you could do. I mean, I think that the black box itself sticks out from the background a little weird. It's maybe experiment with different colors to make it seem more natural in the ocean environment. You know, your blues, your greens, your not blacks. I guess well, not grayscale. Yeah, also something you could experiment with is picking a different background and seeing where the text fits. As far as where you put the text for this background, it was a good call. It fits exactly where you should put it. That's where I would put it, because there's a whole lot of negative space. So, yeah, I really like the aquarium of the world, and I think focusing on that in your thumbnail could be really, really cool. Yep, cool. Let's move on. 100. All right, Garbo gameplay live. Man, this Power World game looks insane. I am looking for the thumbnail, but I don't see it. Let's go find it. New community server Rage. Oh, it's in live. Looking for it. There it is. Alright. I don't know why the thumbnail didn't bring up. Usually it pops up over here, but I think, there it is. Just didn't work at first. Okay, Power World Live. It's a bit of a tough one. So I'm gonna search it. Real quick before I do, the pink doesn't pop as well as it should over what you've got going on in the background. The live, it does pop, but it's like, I wish there was a word to say this, but it's uncomfortable contrast, where it hurts your eyes to look at. It's just that red popping off of that blue it's like something doesn't feel right. It's almost like if you put red and green, like there are two specific reds and greens right next to each other, and it's just like, I think that's what's going on there. I saw somebody say a second ago that the logo is normally white. There it is. White would work better, I think. I think the pink is definitely out of place here, just a little bit. If you did go with white, you would probably want to thicken that drop shadow up just a little bit, and maybe throw an outline around it just real small, and that's just because you've got this white behind it. So if you just left it as plain white, it would blend in with that, and it would just be tough to see. Now, these little things down here, sorry, I don't play the game. I assume that they're part of the logo too, but they could be removed and Power World could be pushed down into the blue. It's just like a negative space thing, you know, if that's what you're going for. I personally, what I would do is I would take this and I would actually use AI. I'll show you what I mean, just real quick. So I would take this. I don't know why I did that. Stay center. Center. Okay. So yeah, I would kind of bring those down into the center area right here. I would just go ahead and actually, you know what? Just so we can get it perfect. Let's go ahead and bring it down just a little bit more. And then I would just gin fill whatever we've got going on here. It always puts it on a different screen. I'm not gonna specify what it is, but you could type in sky or clouds, or if you wanted something different up there. I would try to keep it fairly blank, like that's fine. And then let's find the Power World logo. Power World logo. And then yeah, okay, so those little ball things aren't actually a part of the logo after all. It's a WebP, I can't be using that. Can't be using that. Okay, I can use this one though. Lots of pictures, okay. And then I still want white though. I mean, yellow will pop off a little bit, but it's that also gives the whole uncomfortable vibe. So we'll just throw white over it. Like I said before, this is just going to be this whole rough concept. And then let's bust out a little bit of yeah, that right there. Actually, I kind of like the harsh, like darker shadow. It's at 100% opacity. If you lower it, it might not stick out as well, but you could do that. You could always add an outline, like a real thin one, lower that opacity just a little bit, and that would stick out too. Depending on how saturated your blues are behind it, you could make a yellow stick out too. But somebody said that the logo itself is originally white. So that's what I would do. I would kind of keep these down here focused. I would remove all this stuff. Sometimes putting live in the thumbnail helps. Sometimes it doesn't. I try to kind of play it by ear on that. But yeah, that's kind of what I would do. Make it look real nice. You know, use your negative space. This had a lot of negative space in it with the bottom, but putting text on the bottom of a thumbnail it's counterproductive because you're always just trying to have them read first. Like, people read left to right, so it's easier to put text on the left side of your thumbnail than if it's on the right. It's just more comfortable for people to look at. Whatever reduces the friction of them understanding your packaging, do that. Okay. Let's move on. $265. Is this? I'm just gonna... I felt like I was playing the same song for a while. Okay. Let's go ahead and go here. Bam, 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 bam. All right, how to beat Igris as a F2P player. Where is the... oh, there it is. It blended in with the UI. Okay, how to beat Igris as a F2P player. 100% no SSR brought with level 5 weapon. Solo leveling arise. Whew. All right. Hindi. Well, that's pretty solid. I assume that's the language it's in. I don't want to assume that because maybe Hindi is the name of a character or something. I am so way off my game with games. All right, so we're gonna check out what's the game here? Is it Arise? Is that it? Okay, somebody help me out here. I mean, I know Hindi is a language, but I'm waiting on somebody to name that game just to make sure. Because this is... I assume it's Arise. No, that doesn't look like it. Solo leveling. Arise. Okay, so this is the whole thing. Solo leveling seemed like an action that you'd do in a game, so that had me lost. Okay, let's check this out before we do anything else. I just want to see what other people are doing. Sometimes I start to give advice and it's totally different from what the community and the niche itself is doing. And it's tough to keep up with all the niches because there are just so many interests and channel types out there. You can't learn them all. But I do notice that these are all... okay, well, Painblade, this purple and white, it's kind of like a branding thing they got going on. But what they do right, and I'm not saying you have to do their color, but what they do right is very thick text. It's very eye-catching. You can read it easily. The things behind it aren't distracting from it. Normally, I wouldn't say to put dark purple over a dark background, but with every bit of text they use a harsh, thick drop shadow that goes 0 degrees down, and then they have an outline, so it really works for them. That said, sorry, I was breaking down their thumbnail. You have so many things being said on this thumbnail. You have 4 different characters, and you have a main character in the back. Maybe, oh, that's Igris probably. It's a lot to look at. I think you, at least, you know, you got the outlines here, so that's solid. You picked a great font. I wonder if, yeah, you can read the font from far away, so it's totally fine. I was wondering if it was too close, but but no, it's great. So the font's great. I would just kind of simplify the background and stick to 5 words max. You know, like you want to get across one idea. So is it how to beat Egress, or tips, or if I was doing this, if I was interested, I would try to say something like no one knows how to do this, or no one learned this yet. You know, make them curious about what they're gonna get out of that video. But just give a different angle than these others. Like sorry, I'm just looking for solo. Okay, that one's really good because it's like, wow, is it really that bad? Yeah, I would try to stick to that. I mean, there's not a whole lot here that's different. I think you would really stick out. They chose one character each just to feature, and I know that this is just like a part of the UI, so that's okay. Like they have a bunch of items in this one, so it's all right. It's just a little more distracting if it's people, but yeah, simplify the back, keep it to like 5 words, make it really cinematic. I kind of like what they're doing here, so yeah, just something to get you started. Okay, sometimes I have a bit to learn before I can break it down. Okay, 108. Matthew the Go-animator? Go-animator? Matthew the Go-animator. Let's check it out. This is already good. All right. Oh, all right. Well, okay. I gotta be honest. I don't know how to go about this one. Let me take a look at your channel. You got a solid style. It's very Family Guy-ish. Okay. So let's use the outlier tool to see what we got. Wow, all of these are just hidden. So the ones where you focused on Kalu, of course, that's gonna pop. I don't know how to do this. I think you're doing fine. I think that you're doing exactly what your niche is. I think just sticking to it is what's gonna work for you. I really like when it's very focused on the drawing, and I don't know, man. I think you're doing fine. I don't really have much to say about this one. Besides, just keep going. I'm not gonna break it down. I'm sorry. I think you got something special though. All right, let's move on. 302. Whew. All right. Mr. RLIVVVV. Hey. You're welcome, dude. I'm sorry I didn't have much to say, but I really do think that you got something special there. Okay, let's. Oh, I feel like I've seen this before. Nope, I haven't. All right, I've just seen this picture here. I love Rise of Nations Roblox. Please consider supporting my Patreon. So I guess these are thumbnails from Rise of Nations. Yeah, I guess. All right, I gotta check out Rise of Nations. Rise of Nations. Okay, it looks like they're character-centric a little bit. Looks like just about every one of them is. Except for the ones. Okay, so what I see, if this is what Rise of Nations looks like, it looks like showing the actual gameplay is performing much better than just showing, you know, a couple people. Like, you've got 14,000, 5,000, and then 127,000. Then you got 33,000, 27,000, 312,000. So yeah, maybe focus more on the gameplay. I would try that strategy. I don't have a whole lot to offer to what you actually have, because it looks like you're just showing flags. Maybe experiment with taking screen caps when you're playing. You could even do it straight from the video. You know, just I don't know, pick one of the coolest looking spots and try that. Yeah, try that first, and get back to me. All right, move on. 150. Water. Theme Park Teddy. Diddly-doo-doo-bip-doo-boo. Okay, new location unlocked. What is going on here? Orlando, day 1, June. Is this like a vlog? Okay, yeah. We've been doing gaming stuff. I'm like, what game is this? Oh man, that is okay. This is pretty solid. Okay, so I noticed that when it comes to vlogs, a lot of them, man, this one is, it's tough. All right, let's, how would I say this? It's not quite a yeah, that's a travel vlog, I guess. I know a lot of travel vlogs focus on the scenery though. And, this is more, yeah. Okay, so I just saw that you guys were in a plane. All right, this lady's in a plane. This lady's walking through a plane. And what I like about these pictures more than this is it's showing a full scene in the background, and it's real. You know, you're in the scene, whereas just a picture of something and him, maybe that's Teddy, maybe, but having that over like this background, it kind of looks like maybe it was from Canva, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't edit it or make it special on you know, make it your own, then it kind of is easy to do, and now it's easy for others to just replicate it. So you kind of want to make yourself stick out, and nobody can replicate what you experienced. And that's one thing. Like just the very last thing I saw was you on the plane, and I'm thinking, like, you have all these scenes, like that would be amazing to just blur out the background and have him be the focus, and maybe throw some text on that. So that's kind of what I would go for, but I know that there's probably something way cooler in this video than that scene itself. So yeah, I would focus on that, because I really think that people find that much more impressive and engaging too, rather than a picture that kind of looks like, you know, it was pieced together. Bring them into your experience. I think that you're going to get a lot better of a reaction. Also, I try not to deviate on colors too much. If there's like a bunch of different text and it's like blue, green, red, purple, it's distracting rather than conveying a point. So it's just something to consider. But yeah, you got a lot of like great footage in there. I mean, this looks like an amazing experience, you know. Give us a little preview. Okay. Moving on. 130. Sharpnetic. That's a cool name. Sounds dangerous. Okay, so it's that Peaches song, but it's AI generated. Okay, this is tough. The images are AI generated with Midjourney using lyrics as prompts. Oh, that is interesting. Okay, I was thinking, okay, what's special about it? But this is actually a really cool concept. So you're taking lyrics from each line. You're taking each line and then you're generating a photo and seeing what Midjourney comes up with. Just real quick, it's tough to see what's going on because sometimes these things fade out so fast. You're not given enough time to appreciate it. We're not talking about editing, but I just wanted to bring that up. I would want to look at them more. Whatever you did with this clearly worked, and I don't know if it was the thumbnail itself or if it was the concept, like your idea, just to see what AI could do. But 184,000 views, like something's working there. It was 1 year ago, so that could have been a trend jack too. You could have just been on that trend. Man, I don't know how to package something like that. Besides maybe showing the lyrics, like a portion of the lyrics, make it go out the bottom. Okay, so you've got lyrics over. You know what? I'm just gonna draw it. Sorry, it's just I would take forever to just try to explain that. Hello, Leonardo. So maybe something you could do is you've got the lyrics over here, and they're angled in such a way where it kind of looks like they're going off the page, like this. Much bigger though. I would just make it so it's easy to know that this isn't the full song, right? Just like a little paragraph or whatever, and just extend it beyond. Sorry, I didn't know how to explain that. But then you're on a line and you highlight it with yellow, right? And then over here you have the image that it generated, and like something to convey what the concept actually is, I think would be pretty cool. I think maybe that video ran its course. I mean, it was a year ago and you nailed it, but that's kind of what I would do. Yeah, that's kind of the way I would go with it. I mean, I would just try to show the concept a little more, because if you're just saying this is AI generated, then a lot of people get the impression like, oh, the AI generated video is cool. What's next? You know, you came up with a good idea. You came up with an interesting concept that's not the same old. So, yeah, I would advertise that. All right, let's move on. 312. Boom, boom, boom. Out of Gas is the channel name. Out of Gas is the channel name. All right, tandem stunt carving on thin ice. Stunt carving. Okay. Man, I feel like have I seen this channel before? I have. That was it right there. Beginner riding a fancy snowmobile. All right, so my problem with this one is the same problem with most of these, and it's the text looks like it was old school clip art text. Like, I don't know. I think you have to be a little older to get that, but the background and the foreground of your text, it's not great. I think when people see it, does it catch an eye? Sure. But I think when people see it, they're like, oh, I'm not going to click that, because it kind of just looks a little less professional, I guess. I mean, if it was white text with a black outline, or light blue because it fits, I think it would work. Now, there are some channels that do stuff like this and kind of scrapbook things together, and it works, and it could work. But I think if you show like exactly what we said last time. If you show the situation, if you show the scary part or whatever, and an arrow pointing at it, like I really think that would come across better. This doesn't give a great impression because I know your videos are awesome. You know, I've seen the angles you get. It's very cool. It's just the thumbnail gives the impression like it's just tossed together. Maybe show maybe show a screen cap or something of your video, and I would pick one color, and I probably wouldn't do a background, but if you did make it black, I would think that would stick out a little bit better. Yep, that is what I got to say about that. Alright, move on. 312. Nope, that's not right. It was 240. Bum, 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 bum. Military dragon. Bump bump. Yeah, I know. I've seen some repeat channels too, and it's, you know, it's just like the luck of the draw, but it's crazy how often that happens. All right, so this looks interesting. What is this? Only using Nitro Fists in Fortnite. Oh, that's Fortnite. It is always looking different. All right, so it's a cool concept. If this, I get what you're doing. It's an arrow. It's just a little tough to tell because it's like you made it so big and it's kind of cut off. All right, I know Fortnite is like really heavily saturated. If I like that you picked a background and then you threw him in the background like he's there. It's pretty easy to tell that it was done that way because it was a lack of shadow. If you blacked the or if you blurred the background, it might help these items pop just a little bit more. If you upped the saturation, meaning make it. I always like use terms, and sometimes I don't know if people understand what I'm saying. So I'll show you an example here. So let's go ahead and grab this guy. Actually, I'll just use my object selector. I'm gonna grab this guy, and then I will blur the background to show you what I mean. We'll pop out the saturation just a little bit. By the way, sometimes when I use this tool, it might make things laggy a little bit. So, just a warning. Alright, let's go ahead and grab this, 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 this. And then we're going to get rid of that. Alright, so I can show you what I mean here. I'm kind of like crudely selecting this because, you know, for the sake of time. I have to like stop myself sometimes because I'll get into it and then forget what I'm doing. And I don't know, I just kind of I love making things. Alright, here we go. No! Alright, we're going to mask that. Drop this on the bottom. Go ahead and get rid of the background. Alright, so what I would do is I'd blur this background. Something like... Come on now. There it is. It's like, where is it? Where is it? Yeah, something like that. Alright, and then I will just up the saturation of the foreground. Like, that just... basically making it more colorful, and maybe you could brighten it up, because I know a lot of these Fortnite thumbnails are like really in your face, bright, crazy, right? So if you darken it and blur the background, this is a direction you could go. I know it kind of cut out his hands. That was a total accident, but you get the idea. So yeah, that's how I would go about that. I would make the arrow a little smaller so you could see the full arrow instead of just the front. You don't have to do a white outline, but if you did, I would just make it strictly around the red arrow instead of a double arrow, which is kind of what you got going on here. So yeah, that's kind of the direction I would go. I think you did things right. Maybe making things a little bit bigger could work. Like maybe making this kind of cover this whole area could work. Yes. Okay. Cool. Cool beans. All right. Let's move on. $342. Roblox stuff. Is that right? Channel name I Roblox, and this says brainless. Maybe they changed it. All right. Big Raga, the OP Stoppa, PvP, strongest battlegrounds. All right. So, without knowing anything about Fortnite, without knowing anything about what you're talking about, I know it's Roblox. I think you choosing a character to be the focus and then this number, it looks right. It looks like you focused on the right thing, but let's take a look. Big Raga, and that was Roblox. I hope. No, that's not what I want. Big Raga, strongest battlegrounds. Okay, let's just search that. Okay, so it looks. Hey, you did it. All right, you focused on the character. That's what they did. You had the little crown 69 thing. I don't know if that's a counter or something, but yeah. So it looks like you focused on the right things. Let's see here. Okay, this could just be a concept issue. So let's go back real quick. Okay, so it's just gameplay. I would probably, I know I say it a lot, but maybe focus on your specific experience. You know, what your game shows. I really like the angle and everything you chose for this. I think that if the concept came across well, then it would perform really well. Maybe it's just the title catching it up. I think you did just fine. Maybe the glow is a bit too much and it's kind of getting in the way, or seeing the character from this angle might be difficult for people to understand. So it's just something to consider. If you were to see it and not, like, would you recognize it if you didn't know your video, if you couldn't see it? So yeah. Also, I did notice that in these, it almost looks like this is gameplay, sort of. It gives the impression that it's in the game, but they use outlines to make these things pop. And yours, it's very glowy. And the outline itself, if everything's bright and glowy, the outline won't really make anything pop out because it's also bright. Whereas this one, you know, the yellow pops on her outline because of the pink floor and the character wearing black behind her. So just something to consider there. Maybe sharpening things up a little bit, like these. Yeah, okay. Let's move on. All right, 181. metricsmule. metricsmule. Nice. Whoa, that is interesting. I like the way you did those subtitles where it selects the word and it goes dark. That's not something you see a whole lot. That's very cool. Okay. New AI champion. Free Pick just became an AI powerhouse with this update. Designer. Okay. free pick. Let me take a look here. Free pick. Update. Let's just see. It might be a niche that's like so niche-y that there's only so much potential. Because it looks like you got the idea across of what's going on here. Hold on, let me take a look at the free pick logo. Okay, so that is the blue and white might be something to focus on because what you have is sort of like a cutout situation. Maybe fill that in with white. That might catch eyes a little bit. I assume that these characters are results of the update. New AI champion. I think maybe it's the fact that it's Batman. They look like game characters, so I'm getting game impressions. Like it's looking like a video about a game to me. I don't. That's you. Sorry. Yeah, it seems. Yeah, you're really locked in the niche. I mean, it might just be a potential thing. I don't know. I'm getting game vibes from it at the moment. If it's just like image generation, then maybe there's maybe do some research on Dolly. Like what do Dolly thumbnails look like? You know, try to like a new Dolly update and it should, or a Sora update, whatever, and it shows, you know, the result. I know a lot of them use like full pictures instead of like piece by piece, which is, you know, you've got a character, trophy, logo, text, you know, it's a lot, and I know a lot of those. Like, look at the result. Maybe that's something to focus on. Then some text and a logo. You know, maybe simplify it. That's probably what I would do. If there was a full picture of this with a background, and just get rid of Batman, get rid of the trophy, maybe even the arrow, then with the background, you can kind of figure out what to put behind the text to make it pop off. Right now, a bunch of color works because of the background, but if say the background is white or something, it wouldn't. So yeah, it seems like you got a good handle on this. I would just like check out other AI tools, their updates, see what those successful thumbnails look like. 316. Bow. 4-digit fishing. Always forget I can just go to. No, not print. What am I doing? Multiple misses to my first fish. Okay. Learning to catch carp. Okay, so I find the title really interesting. Multiple misses to my first fish. I was trying to think, is there a way to convey that in the thumbnail somehow? It's solid. Learning to catch carp. I mean, I personally don't mind the font. It's thick enough to read, and you threw a drop shadow behind it that does make it pop. Let's check something out real quick. I just wonder if this would make things a little bit better. Let's just ignore the text for a minute. And I can't do that if it's there, so give me a sec. I think you probably... I mean, I don't know what you used to make this, whether it was Canva or Photoshop or Affinity or Photopea or whatever, but whatever I'm about to do, you're going to be able to do. It's just a color situation. Just I don't want to give the impression that it's difficult, because it's not. I mean, generating, like covering up something like that is tool specific sometimes, but whatever. Okay, so let's just boost this saturation. I just wanted to see what this would kind of look like if it was brighter and more colorful, and we really focused on popping the greens. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Why won't you answer me? Yeah, I would do something like that. This big shadow in the middle, I don't know if that was there before. I can't... It kind of looks like it's covering your arms too, which makes me think that it's drawn on there. And if it is, I would get rid of it. But if it's not, it's okay. It does make things darker. But what I really like here is the scene. You know, I like that you can make the green like really stick out, and then you throw the text back in there, and I think that would work out better. I think it would be much more eye-catching to do something like that. Now, a lot of people do kind of dig the here's the picture, here it is, here's the screen cap or whatever, and there's authenticity in that. So if you don't feel like it's worth it, then man, see these other ones you nailed. It's just this one. It's just a little dark. You know, these other ones are solid. Like, I love that. Fattest fish I've caught. That is, that one gets you, for sure. Tiny bait, small creek. Man, these are really good thumbnails. Really, really good. Yeah, I dig it. I would make that one brighter. I mean, I wouldn't even change the font now. Now that I see that you kind of do that, that's your branding, I would keep it. I think you're onto something. I think you got something special. It's I always say that weird. It's authenticity. It's authentic. And yeah, I like it. I would just brighten it up a little bit. That's all. Very cool, man. Very, very cool. Okay. 98. Oh, another that wasn't it. Sorry. Another thing I wanted to say is learning how to catch carp might not create enough curiosity. There might be something more special about this that the viewer could get out of it. They could learn something, or they could get entertainment. They could be a part of this story somehow. They just have to click to do it. So maybe if you're teaching them how to catch carp, then that's cool. But if you focus more on a specific technique that you use to catch carp, like bait or hook or something, it might give the impression that if they don't click, they won't learn that one thing. And what if they miss out, you know? So it's just something to consider. You might be able to create a little more curiosity. Sorry, I meant to say that earlier. I got way caught up on the color. Okay. I think I already selected this one, flowers. Ooh, Ocarina of Time. Man, this is solid. Okay. Man, this is a cool vibe. Like, I love this screen background. Okay, so this, did you make this? Did you draw this? Are all of these like this? It's tough because I want to know if you draw these. Yeah, if you draw these, I mean, I wouldn't change things, but if this is somebody else's art, then you might want to consider picking something from your video and focusing on that. You know, something epic or whatever that's going on in your video that people get from your video and your video only. But if you actually draw these, then I mean, I would keep it. I would keep doing what you're doing. I think if you draw this, I think the Zelda logo is getting in the way of your art, personally. I think maybe even... Oh, there was like a Plant vs. Zombies thing. No. Okay, I see what's going on. Yeah, so if that's a part of the game, I definitely understand why you did that. If you do draw these, I would really focus on the art specifically, because that's something that you offer that nobody else does. If you don't, I mean, that's like, that's your whole picture is somebody else's art. So, you know, if you commissioned it, it's fine too. Just consider the first option. But yeah, I would, it's tough because I don't know the answer to that. I would definitely focus on something crazy that happened in your game. Screen cap, you know, the same game advice that I usually give. Just show something in your thumbnail, like tease it, that people can only get from your video and nowhere else. Make them click. Okay. Sorry, I didn't have a lot to offer. I hope you do draw those, and if so, just focus on the art, because I think that that's great. Mr. Riffler. I survived 24 hours without a phone. All right. All right. So this is solid. I mean, it's the classic everything YouTuber. You know, you have the face, the item, it goes in a safe. Like, it's clear, it's understandable. I have nothing to offer this, because you did exactly what you conveyed: the idea, you caught the eye, and you created curiosity somewhat. Maybe not personally enough, because I don't find the concept super intriguing, but a lot of people will. And I just think that, yeah, you definitely created curiosity. I wonder if there's something you could do with the green screen part of this phone, because it's surely it's meant to be replaced. I also noticed that iPhones tend to resonate better in thumbnails. People just recognize an iPhone, whereas droids are very hit or miss. So yeah, something to consider. Yeah, but you did really, I mean, you did everything that you're supposed to do. I'm curious if your other thumbnails are like that. Yep. Yeah, your thumbnails are great. They get the idea, they convey, they create curiosity, catch the eye. Wow, that one's really cool. Yeah, honestly, I think it's almost like satire now. I see what you're doing with your face. It's that's okay. It took me a second, but I love that. All right, that's good, man. Yeah, I would say just keep doing what you're doing. These are solid. This will work. All right. All right, next. 359. Bum, bum, ba, da, da. Brain dead rat. Or brain deed rat. Probably the first one. Hey guys, Bella's making brownies. So, just so you know. All right. New grip tape and hardware. Make sure to bring some for us, right? There better be enough for the class. New grip tape and hardware for the Misfits Coffin skateboard. All right. So, real quick, it's a lot of text. I find your style interesting because it's very punk, which, you know, for Misfits, that's the vibe, you know. Man, there's something special about it. It's just there's too much going on. There's too many elements. I would keep the same style. I think it's solid. I even like the cutout of the words. I just think that there are way too many words. These, honestly, I would, man, here, let's, okay, the dream setup. Okay, dream setup is like the perfect 2 words for a thumbnail. Like throw that in there. It's super interesting. Grip tape and hardware. Yeah, I would keep the grip tape, hardware, the Misfits thing. Maybe the Misfits logo could go in it, but I would keep all of that information in the title instead. Just don't make it so wordy. Yeah, dream setup seems like pretty solid. And if you had an arrow at the skateboard or whatever, if you had more of a close-up on the hardware on the skateboard, I mean, you've got the grip tape here, but it's like, how would I know? Because there's something in front of it, and you can't immediately recognize what's going on there. If you had grip tape being put on a skateboard, like a close-up of it, that could work. If you got bolts going in, you know, that could also work too. Just an arrow showing what's going on, dream setup, you know. And I would keep this style. This is really cool. So yeah, this is pretty cool, man. You got something special there. I wanted to see if you had others similar to that. Okay, no, they all got their own thing. That's crazy. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, dude, this is like... Yeah, this is awesome, man. I really like the 5 you're going for. I would just kind of simplify it a little bit, you know? Yeah, that... Even the banner. Man, this is cool. Very cool. All right. Hopefully that helped. Just a little bit. 363. Not 63. 360. Not 3. Stop it. Okay, Delta. Here we go. Okay, Fortnite. I ranked every Fortnite season from worst to best. Okay. So is this... No, okay, I was looking for a tier list just in case. So, this one worked out pretty well. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I see in the Fortnite niche all the time. You know, it's just like this. It seemed to perform really well. I mean, 5,000 views, 546 subscribers. Let's take a look. Oh, you actually do have some tier list stuff in here too. I ranked. Yeah, okay, it's doing all right. I'm just curious. I ranked Fortnite. What shows up? Bow. Okay, so I mean, I'm sure you've seen tier lists and stuff like that, so... You know, I think you got something interesting enough. So, as far as the concept and how to stand out, I think you nailed that. I think you did what this niche requires. Maybe something you could show is why you, like... There's got to be a worst, right? So, like, if you had an arrow and it said worst, and like, it's gonna make a viewer, maybe they think that's the best, and they'll want to click to figure out what you said. Why is that one the worst? And another technique is you could actually blur it out a little bit and be like, oh, you know, what's the worst? You know, that's the question now. So that's something to consider. I think you did really well for what the niche calls for, but yeah, some other options to consider if you really want to create the curiosity, but you definitely conveyed the idea. To me, when I see stuff like this, I ignore it because it's so eye-catching that I'm like, that's probably not for me because I'm old. that's how I feel, and I'm definitely not the target demographic, but when kids see this, you know, teenagers, kids, they catch it. You know, you caught their eye, and that's the point. So, yeah. Hopefully that helps. Just some other ideas to create curiosity. Good job, Dalto. Number 8. Pretty low. Bam, bam. No. Yes. Okay, that was a funny start. All right. Okay, so caught the eye for sure. I would personally, in the Roblox niche, I would pump up that yellow just a bit. By that, I'll just do this again. So sorry. Sometimes I say things and I see them, but you can't see what's in my head. So it's just yeah, maybe like brighten it up a little bit, something like that. If you pop the yellow a little more, yeah, but try not to make it green. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Okay, so I bumped up the blue too. So that's kind of what I would do with the color, just to make it pop a little more. The underrated, that might be, I don't know. I probably wouldn't change much about it. Yeah, I don't know. How do you make that stand out a little more? Maybe it's just because it's like a little gray. It's not white. Not like white. So, I don't know. But, anyway, as far as creating curiosity, they blurred whatever that is. I don't know what that is, but it's clearly underrated. And now I have to click to find out what's underrated. So, yeah, nailed the curiosity. And the whole thing, it's the idea is conveyed. Let's see what the title is real quick. 5 unknown Roblox games you'll enjoy. Okay, so that's a Roblox game, and it's underrated. I don't have much to add, because you did everything that I would do for this niche. I mean, you got 3 elements. You got a character, you got a word, you got a thing. Whatever the thing is. It's a game in this case. The contrast is great. You have everything in the right spot. Nothing gets in the way. It's not too complicated. I have nothing to add besides bumping up the color a little bit. It's really good, man. I wouldn't be surprised to see that perform better and better as time went on. Okay. 398. Speed and Shine TV. Let's check it out, shall we? I just realized my camera is all glitchy. It's okay. Like, sometimes my camera just does this. After a certain amount of time having all this stuff open and my Photoshop open, I get real laggy. It's not like that in real life, though, I swear. All right, unusual finds. This is pretty solid. I would probably make this font a little bit thicker. If there's a bolder version of this, I don't know if this is like Riffic or Marvin. It does look like you put that outline on the inside of the letters instead of the outside. So I would try the outside. That's what I would do. I just think that it's a little bit thin. But you know what? When I zoom out, I'm like, I can see it clearly. So it's obviously not a problem. Might be just a personal taste thing. I see the car in the background. Is that the unusual find? I would assume so. It's intriguing walkthrough of Midwest car show. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of getting it across. I mean, I've seen car show stuff and they really focus on the car itself. What car niches focus on is how beautiful and they can make the car and how awesome of a picture they can get of it, because people want to click on something impressive for this niche. So while my first idea, like my first bit of advice is always to like, how can you create curiosity? This niche kind of doesn't apply. It's all about catching the eye in this one. So I would focus on making the best picture possible and getting it. Like, even if you, you have great angles already, right? So if you just cut this thing out and, made it brighter and put it on a background, or like blur everything else around it and make that pop and sharp, that would work. I think you already got really cool angles. This is like almost too like, I want to see the whole thing. I think that that's what people want in car niches. They like, why'd you crop off the edges of the cool thing that I want to see? So, yeah, that just that's what I learned last time with these car channels. They're very different as far as what you need to focus on. Man, this is cool stuff. Look at that. That is just, I mean, yeah, like, that would be an awesome thumbnail if you just touched it up a little bit. So I would focus on that. Let's move on. 267. All right, target audience. All right, target audience. Oh man, I'm jealous. Okay. Oh. Okay. I have been really into next generation here lately. And by lately, I mean the past 2 years. All right, so I don't know what video you want me to check out, which thumbnail. I'll just kind of pick your more popular ones. Seemingly, what works for your channel is focusing on singular characters, really making them pop. It seems to work for you. I wonder, I saw a Star Trek podcast the other day, but it was like all animated. And I know that that's not something you can focus on, but you can, I know that that's not what you can do. You can't do animated, but you can take the idea of the composition where you put you or both of you in the forefront, and then you got a character scene in the background. And they chose titles on that, but that's something to experiment with. I think what you've got going on though is solid, and it's specific to your channel. You know, you two on each side, and then one singular character. I think it works. What I would do to change it up here, let's just dive into the aesthetic real quick. I love the background, by the way. If I were to change anything, I would sharpen up the lines. I wouldn't do this, the outer glow, the black outer glow. I would sharpen up the lines and make harsh drop shadows, meaning like 100% opacity. Just this blur kind of makes things, I don't know. There's something about it being sharp on the edges that really makes it pop for me. It offers a great contrast, especially with a background like that. That's what I would do. I think sharpening up the image in general could help, but honestly, that's it. I think what you got going on is great. Yeah, when I look at it from far away, the edges are like blurry, and it doesn't pop as much as if it were sharp. If Khan was bright over here, he would pop even more, right? So if you could, I mean, clearly you cut out each character. If you could brighten him up a little bit, I would do that. Okay. 229. Apptivado. Okay, I am terrible with knowing what works in other languages, so that's just a forewarning here. This is interesting. I can't tell if it's like, hold on. A lot of it's AI based, like talking about AI. Okay, so I'm just gonna break it down like aesthetically. If I like the glow, I do, but your text, your font's great, it's thick, but your text needs like a little bit of a separation. Like if there was a little bit of a darker outline around this because there's no drop, like the drop shadow is also still like grayish and not black. I think that might make it pop out more, just a little bit of an outline, black outline. I would do the same thing with the red, just because it blends in so much with the skin. But yeah, it blends in too much with the skin. It's like, it's hard to read. Yeah, that's what I would do. Other than that, I really like the color, and the font choice is great. So that's what I would do, is just try to figure out how to make that stand out more. Can't really talk about creating curiosity and conveying the idea like normal, but I hope that helps at least a little bit. All right, $3.99. No. There we go. All right, clouds. Let's check this one out. And then we're going to talk about some thumbnail news. And then we'll knock out a few more channels after that. Okay, normal player 1v1 top 75. I get what you're doing. There's a better way to convey this. If the normal player is you, then just put me, right? And then put like top 75, because I think people get it, especially if they're looking for this specific game. 1v1, maybe not necessary, especially since it's in your title already. Yeah, so I think that could convey the idea real easy. Like me, top 75, and then your title can fill in the rest of that stuff, because you just got a lot of text going on in here. Yeah, so that's what I would do. Okay, so as far as the thumbnail news goes, it looks like the A/B testing is rolling out to more and more channels. Now, it's like slow. I know that my personal channel doesn't have it, but I know it's coming. So just be patient. But basically, what A/B testing is when you upload your thumbnail, it's called test and compare. You get to upload up to 3. And so if you created a thumbnail with like one saying on it, like here's your 3 words on this thumbnail, and then on this one you're like, I want to try a different saying. Here, I'll show you what I mean through John Yushai. I think I saw he did like a bunch of thumbnail tests, and I just kind of want to show you an example so you can kind of prepare for it when you make your thumbnails. You just just kind of make like 3 versions of them. Sorry, this is my Milanote, so I want to show more here. And basically what it ends up looking like, I guess I don't have it readily available. What it ends up looking like is this. So when you upload it, this was a recent video that I did for vidIQ, and it will give you percentages of your watch time share. Now, that's not CTR, that's not click-through ratio. It's how long they stay. And I would love it if they did CTR, but the reason they don't is because it avoids people figuring out how to best clickbait people. So this is kind of how it looks, and Dan kind of had this theory where if all of the percentages are right around 33, then either they're all really good or you didn't nail it at all. And it's kind of hard to tell. If you don't have a very specific outlier of a great thumbnail, then you didn't gain any good data. So that's something interesting. I just wanted to show you like what a very minimal what a very minimal A/B test looks like. So John, he did a bunch for this, right? Just all these different little versions of like moving the elements. You don't even really have to change your full design. You can just kind of move things around and see what works best. Like this, I'm on the left side. This, I'm on the right side. That sort of thing. So just something to keep in mind as it rolls out. Like I said, I don't personally have it. I know a lot of people don't, but it's coming. So just something to be prepared for. I know we're coming up on time. I want to do a couple more channels, but I just kind of wanted to share something with you. If you kind of want to see how your thumbnail is doing, if you want it to kind of, if you want your thumbnail to be broken down and there's no, live stream going on, or you just don't get picked, then we have a tool for that. It is called the Optimize tool. Now, this is from my personal channel, and if you click on your thumbnail, it will kind of break everything down into specific categories that your thumbnail should all hit. And I personally always just say there's the three. There's conveying idea, creating curiosity, and catching the eye. But this really breaks it down even more, and it observes everything you've got going on in your thumbnail, and it tells you what you should improve. Like my title here is terrible because it's a rate of 55, but I let it go. So yeah, you can regenerate it, you can refine it. There are just a bunch of options, and this is the vidIQ's boost plan. There's a 50% off deal in the description. And something interesting, I did want to try this out. Can you guys see that? Can you scan that? I'm just interested. I've never been able to put an overlay on that. That's so cool. Okay, so anyway, that is the Optimize tool with vidIQ Boost, and I mean, with vidIQ Boost, you unlock a plethora of other tools, and with the A/B thumbnail test going on, you spent all your time making a thumbnail. Well, you can just generate 2 more with it, just to fill it out, just to see what works. So, yeah, that among many other things. Anyway, let's do a couple more channels, shall we? We shall. 184. Dog. Members only content. Okay. How to make 2. This is different. How to make $2,200,000 in GTA Online Stitches to Riches Episode 2. Okay, when I see this thumbnail, I think the title is going to be How to Run Really Fast in Grand Theft Auto. So that's kind of, I just want you to know that that's the idea you're conveying here. How to run really fast. That's what I'm seeing. So maybe focus more on the money aspect. Yeah, as far as your design and your choices, the only thing that I could really focus on is just the idea. Conveying the idea needs a little work. And once you do that, you'll create curiosity. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, somebody said it makes me think it's a speed run. Yeah, it does kind of look like that too. Speed run. That's Bacon Man. Thank you. All right. Let's move on. 448. 448. 448. Covers with Cassidy. Is this a... Okay, so this is either I play music or I create... Or I create blankets. All right. Oh, it's book covers. Oh my god. I'm dumb. All right. May reading wrap up. I don't know why I went to music. I was thinking cover songs. May reading wrap up. Flower emoji. New favorites. All right. 13 books, 2 5 stars. All right. So the curiosity is there. Which of these has 5 stars? Like which ones are that good? I wonder if there's a better way to convey this. I want to check out your other thumbnails real quick, because this could be a branding choice, and it sort of is. Okay, all your thumbnails are you, an item, and text, and that's totally fine. Sometimes, like, if I were to start it, if it was my first video, I might start with a stack of books, and I wouldn't be in the thumbnail, and I would just have the text being like, you know, only 2 of these are 5 stars, like something like that. Just make it a very cinematic image of the books instead. Like, that would just fit my vibe. This is definitely your thing. Sorry, your branding's cool. I like the text. It's big. It's bubbly, which is kind of your thing too. Man, I don't quite know how to improve it without changing what you've got going on. Let's just let's jump into aesthetic real quick. So, man, the bubble text might be a little difficult to read depending on how far it's zoomed out. This one's tough. I think it would be cool to blur the background a little bit. It would make you and your books stand out more. It's a little bit blurry, but if you could go more, yeah, and maybe an arrow. Like 2 of these are 5 stars. Oh, okay, only 2 are 5 stars. So something like that. Make it seem like, yeah, here's a whole lot of books, but only 2 are 5 stars. It's a difficult one. I think you did really good. I was just trying to give you something. You could make the colors pop a little more on the books, just to make them pop out. I do like the outline though. I think that's pretty cool. Sorry, I really like your stuff, so it's just it's difficult sometimes. 87. Severlight Gaming. All right. Oh, somebody said, yeah, that made me think. They could put an arrow on the books with the covers hidden. If you had all the books laid out, and then you had 2 arrows going to books that were covered, like blurred out, that's another way to go. That's okay. So all those books are okay, but here are the 2 5 stars, and you like blur those titles just to kind of create that curiosity. Yeah, thanks, Seamaster25. That kind of sparked an idea. Very, very cool. All right. This one. So this is pretty solid. I kind of like the character up front. Hide. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is... Let's see. So is this Roblox? Yeah, this is Roblox. All right. I just want to check something out. I think from what I've seen from the Roblox niche, I think you did exactly what they all do, except you're missing the white outlines. Was that the right one? Okay, so in the horror side of this niche, there aren't any. But yeah, you did exactly what they do. What is successful. So then let's just break it down. If you're looking from far away, I couldn't quite tell that this was like a bad guy. So maybe a little bit of an outline or something to like make that thing pop. And if you don't want to ruin your vibe there, then the background, this brick stuff that's going on, if you just blurred that instead, I think that would also make it pop out. So one more thing, you could just increase the brightness on it and it alone, and it would make that red a little bit, a little more heavy. So as far as everything, like your composition, it's great. I think you get the idea across. I like everything about it, man. I just, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the concept is there for sure. I would just brighten the bad guy. That's kind of what I would do. I mean, I know that doesn't help very much, but it's it already looked great. Mystery Master 3. All right, I'm gonna do a couple more, and then I got to roll. Boom. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 Knockout Tournament Madness. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, this is very niche. Okay, so what I love about it is it's very nostalgic, and I love that it's an old game. And I don't know if you made this with AI or not. It's a cool concept, but I would really focus on what makes the old game special, which is it's old. You know, it's something that it's a memory. You know, and then if you pitch it like this, it's not as special. You know, so I would just kind of focus on what's there. You know, people want to see the reality of this, because that's what makes it. Yeah, try to find like a really good screen cap or something to give the vibe, like, yeah, check this out. It's, you know, remember this game? So, yeah. All right, 2 more. 446. Bow, 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 bow. No channel name yet. No video yet. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do there. I don't even know how to I don't even know how to get a hold of you or where to start, so. ACSR26. Okay, it's a live. Ooh, interesting. All right. GTA Online Friday Night Live. Hey, there's a Friday night, just like how we started. Okay, so is this it? Last time I clicked on a live, it didn't show the thumbnail immediately, so let's try it again. Come on. Okay, it's not there. So let's just roll over and find it. GTA Online. Oh, I guess they all look this way. So what? I mean, like, it's a live thumbnail, you know. I don't exactly know. There's just DJing, you know. So you're playing GTA. I mean, I would show something that's a little more gameplay specific, because this could just be 2 DJs that I didn't recognize. You've got Grand Theft Auto Online in the bottom left, and I guess that kind of gets it across, but from far away, I would never see that. So maybe something that stands out just a little bit more. There's a lot of black and a lot of purple, and it's just it blends in with the UI of YouTube. So maybe something that's like, oh, this is obviously Grand Theft Auto. Okay, sorry, that's all I can really say about that one. I hope that helps at least a little bit. It's a live thumbnail, so it's different. Okay, last one. Are you guys ready? 41. eFoot Law Moments. All right. Are you making these mistakes in dribbling? Master tactical dribbling. How to create space like a pro. Before, after. Okay. I get what you're going for here, but I would do something up close, just a little bit more. It's sometimes it's difficult to know. Well, actually, that's probably the. Yeah, that's the game angle. So, yeah, there's a lot to focus on your thumbnail. It's a little difficult. I would probably get rid of all these words. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. I get where you're going. I would simplify the amount of arrows. Or, yeah, I would simplify the amount of arrows. But I do like the X and check mark, so maybe make those stand out just a little more. But I would definitely get rid of all this text. Some of it's going to be covered up anyway, so yeah, that's what I would do. I would try to see how you can simplify that just a little bit better. All right, y'all. I'm out. I will see you next time. Hopefully this helped, and like I said, again, we have the vidIQ Boost Optimize tool that really helps break down these thumbnails, and yeah, it could at least clue you in on what to fix, and it'll be a great tool to prep for the upcoming A/B thumbnail testing, the test and compare tool. So All right, until next time, I'll catch you later.